Here we go. We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome, Simone Milasas, to a conversation about relationship done different. Relationship done different. You are so-called an expert on this topic, but an expert in a very different way. And what I learned from attending your relationship done different classes and also being a relationship done different facilitator, you have a very different point of view about relationship, which is very often considered as how do I find the right partner? How do I find Mr. Perfect? The one thing that I learned from you is in this reality, when people talk about how do I find a partner, how do I find a man, they always look at finding something outside. What I learned from you, and this is what I would like to talk to you about today, is you empower people to not looking for an outside source. You actually stated once you can be the energy. You can actually create the partner that you desire. So you don't depend on someone else. You invited me to look at what can you be to create that what you want. So does that actually mean that you are not the lucky one if you find the partner you like, that everybody can actually create what they desire, even in relationship? Is that true, Simone? What do you know about that?
Yeah, and as you're talking about that, David, I mean, gosh, there's so many elements to what you're talking about, and it is definitely something that we, dive into in a relationships done different class, and it's about what you're willing to receive as well. And I think that's a really key element, because if you have the point of view that something cannot show up, literally, it won't show up. But if you have the point of view that you can have everything that you've ever desired, you can ask, like ask the universe. It's like for whatever it is you desire to show up, and also be willing to receive it. Now, interesting enough, this is something I would like to change, David, is so many people are more willing to receive judgment. They're willing to receive what is like heavy in their world, is how I would describe it, rather than knowing that they can choose something different. Like everything is possible, but you've also got to be willing to ask, and you've got to be willing to receive. Now, you mentioned it's like we are being the source here, right? It's like I am the one. I mean, it's like going to a restaurant, and you go into a restaurant and you've got a menu, and the waiter comes over and you don't say anything. Well, the waiter's not going to know what it is that you're asking for. But when you ask for what it is you desire, then the waiter knows to go to the kitchen and ask them to prepare that meal for you and bring it out, right? It's the same thing with everything in life, all of your relationships. If you are asking for friendships or a partner, to show up, and you have this energy that you are asking for something greater, asking for something that when you're with this person, you're going to create more than when you are alone. I mean, even if I look at yours and my friendship, David, you're one of my best friends, and I'm so grateful to have you as a friend. And you so have my back, and I so have your back. And we also create together. We have possibilities together everywhere. I mean, we're co-facilitating a business done different class in Saudi Arabia before we head to Abu Dhabi for the relationships done different class. So that's a friendship. You and I have this friendship. And it's the same thing with a partner, etc. Ask for what you desire and what you deserve to show up.
So where will you start? I mean, and the relationship different to cover all, but just to give a little sneak peek.
Okay, so David, your internet is really bad, and we cannot. You sound like a robot. You sound like a robot, and you said something about giving a sneak peek for something. And what was the sneak peek? See if you can say it again.
What to use where to start
Okay,
to create.
We
Oh my
can't,
God.
David, you're a robot. You're not a robot. You're an amazing, amazing, phenomenal man. But right now, in this moment, you sound like a robot. So I'm going to talk about something then. One of my favorite tools of relationships done different is the 5 elements of intimacy. And like you, I mean, I'm sort of like telling you the end of the movie right now, because all the relationship done different classes that I have facilitated, and I know a lot of other facilitators who have the same thing go on. People walk into the class and they have this expectation of what it is that they desire. And a lot of the times it's like, how do I find the perfect man? How do I make my, partner do this or do that, etc. And they have all these points of view about, I guess, like controlling what shows up. And it's always about another person. And the 5 elements of intimacy is something that I believe you need to have with yourself before you can actually have that with somebody else. So the 5 elements of intimacy is vulnerability, trust, allowance, honor, and gratitude. And if you're looking for somebody else to be grateful for you before you're grateful for you, what sort of relationship are you planning on having? Like literally planning on having, rather than you have those 5 elements of intimacy with you. Again, gratitude, trust, honor, vulnerability, and allowance. It's like, then you can have that with somebody else. And they're called 5 elements of intimacy because that's what that is. It creates this intimacy when you are honoring of yourself and you're honoring of your body as well. And then you can be honoring of somebody else and they can be honoring of you. It's a very, very different energy than functioning from, expectations and projections and judgments of each other, which create separation. To have these 5 elements of intimacy. So that's one of the tools that we definitely talk about, in relationship done different classes. And for me, there's, like I said, so many people show up at class and they have this expectation and projection. And then by the end of it, they're like, whoa, and they have more of them. And to be there and watch that and have people actually choose themselves is quite a gift, is incredible. So I love facilitating relationships done different. It's a really beautiful class. And, for me, it's like this reality as well is so caught up in what should be rather than what can be. And I'd like to look at what can be, and that's relationships done different.
So am I back now? I am still robotic.
Yes, you are. You
Good,
are.
wonderful.
You are.
I was just wondering, is there something I am refusing to receive? Because every time we touch this topic, my internet breaks down and everything that is very interesting. Probably the class has already started. Thank you for mentioning that these 5 elements of intimacy. And am I correct that this doesn't only apply to a partnership relationship? Does that also apply to relationship with your family, with your friends, with your business partners? Or is this just a dating tool?
No, it's all of it. I mean, the 5 elements of intimacy, I mean, again, let's use you and I. It's, we've developed our friendship over, a long period of time. And there's definitely vulnerable moments or conversations that you and I would have that where we would lean on each other. And for me, I think that's incredible. And I'm very grateful, and I have a few friends that it's like all those barriers and those walls are down and you're just like, hi. And what if we could have that with the entirety of the world? Now, I might, in Access Consciousness, we have bars, and one of the bars is called Hopes and Dreams, and I might need my Hopes and Dreams bars run. But the whole thing is, for me, that's the world I would like to create, so that we can have this universe of possibilities. And so let's use family, as an example as well. Not all of us and quite a lot of us are not actually, born into a family that they're empowering. Okay. It's really rare to have a whole family that's just like, hey, go be and do everything that you would like to. For me, I was very lucky. I had a father who was incredibly empowering. He passed away quite a few years ago. And he used to say to me my whole life, I will be here for you. And he so was. I always knew that he was there for me. But he said, you have to choose, Simone. It's your life. You have to choose. Because I'd go, Dad, do you think I should do this or blah, blah, blah? And he'd go, you have to choose. If you choose, you'll find out. Like the first time I ever went to an Access Consciousness class traveling overseas, it was a business class in San Francisco. And which, by the way, that business class, I'm pretty sure is on the Access, .me app, which is brilliant. If you want to find out more about that as well, it's got so many classes on it. But that's the first one I went to, and I was going for business. Like I wasn't going to work with Access, etc. That was not what was in my head. And my father said to me, I had so much debt at that time, and I owed money everywhere, and he said, Simone, it's going to cost you like $10,000 to fly, class, hotel, all that sort of thing. He said, you need to go and find out if this is what you want to do with your life. And he was so empowering. And I remember sitting in that class in the front row just going, wow, this guy, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, is talking about everything that I know exists, and yet nobody was talking about it. And here he was delivering these tools. And for me, that's the business side of Access Consciousness tools. And then for me also, in relationships, we address all of these tools that exist, and yet you haven't quite been shown them or empowered to use them. Like, that a world of being, kind to each other, or having gratitude for someone, or honoring another being. Like, there's no lesser being. It's like, what if we were all honoring of each other? It's a different reality that we can choose and that we can create by our actions and by our choices. And so back to the 5 moments of intimacy and with your family, it's like my mother, look, she was not a nice person. She was mean to me my whole life. She doesn't like women, and I'm a woman. And so from a child, even, she didn't treat me very well at all. Whereas my brother was like the golden child because he was a male. And he actually said to me the other day, Simone, I didn't realize how bad it was, for you. And, a lot of gaslighting and a lot of just being mean. But here's the thing. I tried for years and years and years and years to figure out what would make her happy. And finally, I went, this is not about making her happy. She's actually happy being unhappy and being mean and being cruel. Okay, what if I was in allowance of her? And that changed it for me. And that's what I'm looking at is, if you function from these energies, then, and choose that, then your reality changes. Because I can't tell you the amount of times I'd go to visit my mother and I'd leave crying because I was just like, this is, and I was like, that's not cool. If I'm going to be honoring of me, then I'm going to be an allowance of this. And allowance is not a doormat either. It's not being treated, badly. But I realized I can't change her, but what I can do is I can change me reacting to this and create a different situation. So yeah, the 5 elements of intimacy are absolute gold, and they are to do with everybody, like you said, including business partners, friends, family, partners, etc. Your kids, all of it and more.
And this, I remember this part and this story and this part of the class was the biggest aha moment and the greatest gift for myself, when I realized no matter where you come from and where you are right now, we have choice, and you can literally change anything. Maybe not overnight, but on a long run. And for me, that's why relationship done different. It's way more than relationship with a partnership. It's this incredible set of tools to empower everyone to literally choose the life they truly desire. So I'm so grateful, Simone, that you are going to Abu Dhabi to facilitate this class. I will be there, of course, with you, sitting in front row with my questions.
I love
Thank you.
that about you, David. Thank you so much. Because the thing is, you don't go to this place of going, oh, I've got this. I'm an, because you're also an RDD facilitator. We shorten everything,
Yes.
relationship done different facilitator. But you don't go, oh, well, I can't ask questions then. You're like, okay, give me more. Please give me more. Let's talk, let's chat, let's extrapolate, let's explore what else is possible. And if you come along to this class. It's in, like David said, it's in Abu Dhabi, so you can come live. You can also join online as well, so from anywhere in the world. We definitely have the class in Arabic and Russian, and we're working on, I think, Romanian and a few other languages as well. So if
Eight
you're
other
interested,
languages. There are eight other languages in creation, and
nice.
the beauty of all of this is it's beyond a cultural background and religion. It's just this empowering set
Yeah.
of tools that will allow everyone to look at this and recognize you always have choice. You can change literally anything with the point of view you have. And one of my really most favorite classes, especially you, Simone, you have this unique gift and this incredible allowance with these topics. So thank you so much for coming to Abu Dhabi and giving everyone this incredible possibility to literally create the life they've always dreamed of. And that's not being delusional. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a possibility everyone can choose. If you don't believe me, come to class. You'll see. Come find out. Thank you, Simone, so much
Thank
doing
you.
this. We are starting on December 19, 20, 21, live or online, and then let's get to work and create the life we've always dreamed of. Thank you.
And I'm sure we're going to have the link somewhere, but you can also go to the Access Consciousness, accessconsciousness.com and search my name, Simone Milasas, and the class will show up there too. So thank you for being here. David, thank you for being here too. And translators, thank you so much. You guys absolutely rock. And I'm looking forward to being in Abu Dhabi because I've never been to Abu Dhabi before. So a new place.
It's beautiful, especially this time of year. Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye.
Bye.